Hey, Miller the Pillar here. Today we're going to talk about new to yoga. You've wanted to try it, you've heard about it, you're terrified of it. Well, I've got two people to help me out today who have never done yoga ever before, and I'm going to show them all the basic moves that they're going to need to go into their first yoga class and not look like a total newbie. So let's get started. Okay, hey guys, so loads of people want to get into yoga and are terrified of it. So I'm here with Fiona and Loimer, and we're just going to go through all the stuff you're going to need, all the basic postures you're going to need not to look like a complete dick in your first yoga class. Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, so nothing scary. I just want to make sure that when you guys go into yoga class, you see some of these things or someone says, oh, do this or do that, you know exactly what to do. So let's run through it now. You guys are at the top of your mats. So just feet together at the top of your mats. You're always going to start off a yoga class right at the front of your mat. So right here at the front. Okay, feet are together. And then the first posture we've got to do is our mountain posture. So we're up at the top. So just take a big stretch up, hands up over your head. Nice big stretch. Whenever you're in this position, all you want to do is stretch your hands up as high as you can, like look up at the ceiling, reach up, stretch up, and while you're reaching up, pull your shoulders down. So hands pull up, shoulders pull down. That's step one. Step two is tuck your pelvis under and squeeze your abs. Good? Now, as soon as you did that, it was really hard to keep your hands straight up, right? So now, with your pelvis tucked under, can you get your hands up a little higher? So that's hard, right? So look at Fiona is pretty far off, and Loimer is a little bit closer. So that shows you how far you need to go, because you should be able to take your hands vertical. So that's actually a really tough yoga posture. Second yoga posture you need to know is just a forward fold. So just hang and just stretch. And just let your hands go where they go. Let your head flop down. Okay, the object of the game is that you can put your hands flat on the ground with your legs straight. That's the object of the game. Most people can't even get anywhere near the floor. So you guys are doing pretty good already. If you want to make this a little better, all you need to do is grab onto the back of your ankles or the back of your calves and bend your knees a little bit and put your face into your knees. And you'll be able to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then if you let your hands go back on the ground, you'll see that you're much farther down. So look, that worked really well, didn't it? Okay, so now let's walk back and get ourselves into a high plank position. So you walk back and you're here in a high plank. Now for some people, this is already too much. You guys are really strong, but maybe just drop your knees down if you need to. So a high plank could even just be knees down or knees up. But the important thing we want to do in a plank is we want to make sure our hands are big and wide, fingers are wide, and the biceps rotate frontwards. So we're not out like this, the biceps rotate in. That's the hard part, right? Okay, so now let's lift the knees up and see if we can rotate the biceps in. And then remember we did that pelvis tucked under? So do that, tuck your pelvis under. Okay, so you guys look amazing. That is an awesome plank. So plank always looks like that. Now drop your knees down. So Chaturanga is something we hear all the time in yoga. You're gonna hear, oh, do a Chaturanga. All it is a yoga push-up. But we have to do one thing really different in a yoga push-up or Chaturanga, which is we've got to keep our elbows tight to our ribs and our shoulders away from the ears. So everyone does a push-up and we're like this, right? That's how we learn, right? Shoulders like this, elbows out. A yoga push-up is exactly the opposite. Shoulders are down and elbows are tight. It's really hard to do. So it's like a tricep push-up. So we start learning with our knees on the ground and just put your elbows tight to your body and come on down halfway and then come on up and see if you can keep your elbows tight to your body the whole time. And come on up. Good. So that's looking really good, guys. Really good. Okay, now, you guys are so good. I kind of want to see that now. Can you do it with your knees off the ground? Try it. And up. Wow, okay. So you guys, knees on the ground, high fives, Chaturanga. Okay, so Chaturanga, set. So that's one of your basic yoga postures. Another basic yoga posture we've got to do is a Cobra. So let's come all the way to the ground. So that was triceps, chest. Now we're gonna start working And all of this is about organizing your body so your muscles work together. So we already did the elbows tight to the body, right? So we're gonna keep that going. And now we're just gonna lift the chest up. Okay, so it's really hard to pull the shoulders down and the chest up and your elbows tight. That's good, you guys. So that's your Cobra, and then release that. So that was awesome. Okay, so since you guys are so good at that, I'm gonna make that harder. Into an up dog, okay? So now, let's try that lift again. Cobra, shoulders down, chest up, elbows tight. Now straighten the arms all the way out, biceps facing to the front. The toes should be flat on the ground. Get your toes flat. Good, lift the knees off the ground. So chest is up, shoulders down. You guys look like yoga rock stars. That's your up dog. That looks amazing, guys. Okay, now drop the knees, lower back down, elbows tight. Okay, what do you guys need me for? You guys are awesome. Okay, so what about downward dog? We always hear downward dog, so let's try and go for it. Okay, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up onto the knees, tuck your toes under. I want you to lift your butt up in the air and look at your feet. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to do a couple really important things. Drop your knees for a second. I'm gonna run you through it. Lots of things going on in downward dog all at one time. So number one, your hands are gonna feel like they're pressing into the ground. Number two, your shoulders are pushing back. So you're looking at your feet and you're trying to push your shoulders towards your feet. Number three, I want you to try and tilt your butt up in the air. And number four, try and press your heels in the ground. Man, there's a lot to think about, right? Okay. Okay, so you're trying to make this shape with your body, right? Okay, so it's hands pressing, shoulders pushing back, butt tilting up, heels pressing into the ground. Okay, so let's try it. And butts up. Good. Look at your feet, press the shoulders towards the feet, tilt the butt up to the ceiling. Good. Look at your feet. Good. Shoulders toward the feet, butt tilting up, and heels pressing into the ground. They look really good. And you guys are amazing. So drop the knees to the ground. You guys, high fives. Okay, I told you it's hard work, isn't it?
You didn't tell me about hard work.
I did. Okay, so amazing, right? So can we do two more postures that you're gonna hear if you go to a yoga class? A little bit more going on now. So downward dog is tough because there's so much going on. That's like the beautiful thing about yoga is there's so much going on. You really have to focus on all these things going on in your body. So let's get into a lunge position now. So bring one foot forward and one foot back and just frame your foot in between your hands. That's good. Now lift your back knee off the ground and get to a nice, strong lunge position. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to look back at your back foot and turn it back out at an angle. Put your foot on that heel right on the ground. Now stay in your lunge for me. Stay in your lunge and lift your hands up in the air to me. Hands up, rise up. There you go. Perfect. Now lift those hands up into high into the air. Now, the opposite of the game is that those hands are vertical. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Second opposite of the game is this knee is right over your foot, right over your heel, so it points outward just a little bit, and your back heel and the outside edge of the back of your foot is pressing hard into the ground. So can you get those hands up a little higher? Amazing job, guys. And try and face your hips forward towards me, and then release that. So let's do the other side just to balance that out. That's freaking hard, isn't it? Yeah, so you guys good. So let's put the right foot forward now. So this is our warrior one position. So let's get down in that lunge again. Now it's nice deep lunge. Turn your back foot out. Good. And you might find that one side is easier or harder than the other, right? So are we on the hard side now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, guys. So when you're ready, hands lift. Beautiful. Okay, now try and face your hips forward to me. Try and lift the hands up even higher, always pulling the shoulders down, and look at that front knee and make sure it's tracking just over your heel. So point it out to the right just a little bit. You guys look amazing. Lifting the hands up as high as you can. And release. You guys, whew, warrior one. Amazing, right? Okay, so the last one you hear about a lot, I think, and this gets you through, I think, all the basic postures you'll have in yoga class is a warrior two. So we'll start in that warrior one position, and that's gonna be getting us into warrior two, okay? So they kind of go in stages, yeah. Okay, so let's do the good side. Let's go, what was it, left foot forward? Okay, yeah, let's go left foot forward, and we'll start off with warrior one again. Okay, let's go for it. You guys did such a good job last time. I can't believe you guys have never done yoga before and you already look so good. Okay, turn that heel out. Good. Okay guys, so now, hands lift right up in the air. Good. So now what I'd like you to do is take your right hand and open it out and make them parallel to the ground. That's looking really good. So what I need you to focus on is a couple of things, guys. Number one, we've already done that front knee. It's pushing out over the foot. Number two, your back leg is straight and you're pressing the outside of your heel into the ground. This time you're opening your hips out to the sides, tucking the pelvis under, squeeze your abs, shoulders pressing down, away from the ears, and then finally reach your hands out nice and wide. So those are all the elements. Front knee pushes out. Back leg is long and straight. Pelvises are tucked under, shoulders down, and arms extended parallel to the ground. And you guys can release out of that by putting your hands on your hips. High fives, high fives. You guys, that will get you through your very first yoga class. If you've been terrified to go to a yoga class, now you've got the basics and you can absolutely do this, I promise.